Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, two civilizations that feel like they were designed by Timothy Leary clash as Mr. Yo, playing as the Burgundians in red, gets ready to take on Vinchester, playing as the Cumans in green. Now while the players herd their herdables explore their immediate hoofed and horned surroundings. Do rhinos have hooves? I think they do. Okay. First distraction of the game already, and they try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the civ matchup we will be watching today. The Burgundians are an oddball civilization with some of the wonkiest features in the entire game. Militarily, sure, they do focus primarily on cavalry, being the only civ in the game to have access to cavaliers in the Castle Age. And their unique unit, the Custelier, is a medium cavalry shock unit that has a huge +20, +25 charge attack. Now, to support their cavalry on the field of battle, Burgundian gunpowder units pack an extra 25% punch, and the Burgundians do have access to a second unique unit, the Flemish Militia. This is a medium infantry unit with a pretty decent attack bonus against cavalry. Might be bad news bears for a mounted civilization like the Cumans. And if that's still not enough army for you, well, the Burgundians can conscript each and every single one of their villagers by turning them into Flemish militiamen and allowing even more Flemish militia to be trained out of their barracks. Now, to help pay for this massive war machine, Burgundian stable techs are cheaper. Any relic they get generates food in addition to gold. All economic upgrades are available in Age earlier and are cheaper, and every single one of their farmers can be given a copy of Atlas Shrugged and turned into a capitalist that generates a small amount of gold while he or she tills their fields. Now let's take a look at the right side as this gazelle does bite the dust. Right side of the map where we've got Vinchester playing as the Cumans, an incredibly fast civilization with a few cool features. To start with, all of their mounted units move progressively faster as the game goes on, all the way up to 15% faster in Imperial, which does help them maneuver their unique unit, the Kipchak. This is a mounted archer unit that fires multiple arrows, although only the first one does full damage. Now, some Cuman mounted units, I'm looking at you, Mr. Scout Line unit, their Step Lancers, and their Cavalry Archer line, they can all be upgraded to train in half the time. Now, if you want to put some fast early game pressure on your opponent, the Cumans are the only civilization in the game that can build a siege workshop in the Feudal Age. By the way, this rhino has planted his ass right in the push path of the gazelles, being a little bit annoying there for Vinchester, but I'm sure somebody with 2782 Elo can find a workaround, and it looks like that workaround involves going into undiscovered, uncharted territory. Someone call Nathan Drake as this gazelle. Oh, look at that, a twofer. He discovers goats and he pushes the gazelle. The rhino needed to know he was doing a good thing for our Cuman, who, while pulling a rhino, pushing a gazelle, also is exploring with goats. I mean, the level of micro of these players is just absolutely incredible. Anyway, let me finish. I get so distracted. If you don't want to use slow battering rams to press your opponent, you prefer to pressure them with ranged or mounted units instead, well, Cuman archery rangers and their stables only cost 100 wood, so you can build a lot of them early on and forget, if you want to forget military, you want to take the game to the mid to the late stages and focus more on your economy. Well, just like they're the only civ that can build a siege workshop in the Feudal Age, they are also the only civilization that can build a second town center in the Feudal Age, although remember, this does take time, pulls villagers off of gathering resources, and makes them a little bit exposed in the initial stages. That to protect their booming economy, whether you go military or civilian, the Cumans, like the Goths, they don't get stone walls. Although, unlike the Goths, their palisades and palisade gates come with 33% more HP. Them be the two civilizations we are watching. It looks like our Burgundian with Loom with one extra villager. Loomless is our Cuman. Our Burgundian is heading up about, I want to say 50 seconds behind his opponent. Vinchester has gathered a massive 3 whole seconds of TC idle time as he begins walling off the northern portion of his settlement, which is a good indicator to us to actually, let's take a look at the map we're on. What does the chessboard look like today? It is not your average 8x8 tile board. No. The attack path, very jumbled, very confusing. Lots and lots of forests and lots of, I won't say narrow, but narrow-ish choke points between the two bases. And where's that good old-fashioned New Age Arabia relic that's always spawned in the middle? There it is. And Vinchester, no moss growing under his ass, immediately hits Feudal, immediately second town center, and our Burgundian, who I don't think has discovered where our Cuman is yet, although now he's heading in the right direction, has seen the 4 patch of stone in the Tetris piece, and so he's gonna know he's in the right area. Is he gonna suss this out? Now, what is this, 8 villagers? The standard 8 villagers will take 45 seconds to complete the second town center. And let's see. Oh no, he's gone north. Has Mr. Yo. So we'll keep an eye on this scout though. Now he's pivoting south. I mean, we saw Mr. Yo recently with the Cumans going for a second TC. He's not a stranger to the civilization. There we go. Immediately susses it out. So let's take a look. Oh, we've already had a first kill of the game here. It looks like the green scout did die. Pardon me, I do apologize. We'll have caught that in picture, but let's take a look at the... Sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. Let's take a look at the Cuman base as we were looking first. Primary gold right next to the new TC. Oh, wait a second. Mr. might get a second kill here. These are, now they have Loom, but these are now Feudal Age scouts. They attack on a 5, not a 3. And so he should, there we go, gets the second kill of the game. First villager kill, and a reinforcement is being sent out. The scout does have 21 HP. If it takes the high ground, can take this fight. But look at that villager moving in on the scout, daring him to keep going. Primary gold off to the side and secure. Primary stone very exposed in the forward position, forming part of a wall off, which means it's safe, but not really mineable if we see any ranged units out of our Burgundian. I like that Vinchester has already secured an extra patch of gold to the back with this wall off, because to the front, he has his extra gold and stone. And Mr. Yo, he's going to try to punish this. He's got 4 villagers on stone. His stone just went down 125, which tells me there's a tower. So he's going to try to... Ooh, what is this location? Really? Not here? So what is this location really lame in terms of a tower? Not much, and he agrees, and now he is going to place it maybe somewhere else. Maybe closer to the gold? Yeah, okay, now... All of this still doesn't really lame these 2 patches of gold, even this one being mined from the northern side of it. But we'll take a look at Mr. Yo's base. Not really as relevant right now because he is the one putting on the aggression, and it is Vinchester who pulls 8 villagers to deny this. Oh no, tower canceled. A little bit of stone lost. Outpost going up so you can have vision. I like that Mr. Yo tried to preempt some of this with a palisade, but 8 villagers moving in on 3 is never going to be a good fight for you. As okay, now he's trying to get the tower up and running as well. Villager takes a bit of town center fire on this side of the map. There we go. Safe but unmineable is this gold, pardon me, stone patch. Scout just kind of staring this down. Not really going to accomplish very much. Not really going to be able to go past that stone or the palisade. And look at that, a house is blobbed down. 1 villager of the 3 building the tower, 2 of them repairing the house. 1 green villager, of course, the corner was left untouched. Archers almost lured into a TC area, but now they're going to be able to shell away, fire away at Vinchester's villagers, who abandoned ship with the house so close to being burned down. But the longer they stayed, the riskier it is with the red tower going up. But a green counter tower has gone up. Our human has mined enough stone, and so doesn't really need to go back there anymore. And I mean, this is not really going to deny anything here. This half dead on fire tower full of 3 villagers. Like I said, he can still mine gold from the northwest side of these gold patches, safe and sound, unless Mr. Yo invests in some attack and range upgrades, right? Unless he gets fletching, but okay, never mind. A little bit too late for that. Let's take a quick look at this base, because primary gold kind of off to the side, stone off to the side, but protected already with this wall off. And look at that, extra gold and stone to the rear. Where's his 3rd patch of gold? Also kind of to the rear. So not a bad base for our Burgundian. Lots and lots of forests here. He can easily wall some of these portions off and make himself a nice little nook. It looks like an archer has fallen. Was it the TC? It was the TC that got the kill. And, okay, adding 2 more villager kills to the Burgundian notches on the belt is Mr. Yo. 4 total kills to 1 for now, and the mining operation is back. Because even though he has a second patch of gold to the back, we saw that secondary stone is very much in enemy territory right now, and the palisade is down. Our Cuman not able to wall in time. It looks like he lost a villager up here. It looks like he's lost 2 villagers down here. 6 total, 7 total villagers. I mean, this is a good way to punish, but unfortunately our Cuman is already up to 48 villagers. And so is it too little? We'll see how quickly Mr. Yo decides to head up to Castle Age. That really is the big defense to this kind of play, is get to castle, get out some more powerful units, try to punish this. Especially, you know what, he's ahead 14 villagers, but 6 of them are doing not a whole lot over here. And Mr. Yo gets another villager kill. He's up to 7 villager kills, yet is down 15. I mean, this is how badly you need to punish the Cuman. In any other Civ matchup, in any other feudal versus feudal where there's no second town center, killing 7 of your opponent's villagers. I mean, we saw Hera resign after losing 4 or 5. This is like a death sentence for any other civilization. But when you have a second TC out, okay, now he has fletching on his towers, does Mr. Yo. Any other civilization would have collapsed by now, but our Cuman holding steadfast. Lost a few more villagers. Now his lead is a meager 14, but Mr. Yo is finally heading up to castle. He's got a scout exploring here. Those 6 idols now became 6 lumberjacks. Okay, 8 more headed this way. He can't jack wood over here. He can't really jack wood over here. I guess he could jack wood up to the north. This is not safe anymore with his roving bands of archers. And our Cuman with the market. He's buying his way up to Castle Age. He just doesn't have the secondary structure. Okay, the second this blacksmith completes, he is going to head up. And to be fair, not too far behind Mr. Yo. Vinchester, click up, click up. Oh, he queued it behind a villager. I wonder what the logic is for pro players. Let's say you've got a villager queued. Is it if it's more than 50% trained, you just let it finish training? Or if it's like 10% trained? At what point do you cancel the villager and just go up to Castle Age? Or at what point do you complete training that villager and then go up to castle? I wasn't quick enough to see. I wonder if it's basically as simple as just 50%. Mr. Yo's scout has left the vicinity. If he stuck around, he would have noticed that there is a bit of action here to the rear. His scout is dead though, so he is not going to be scouting nothing but the underground. And now here we go. What will Mr. Yo do? What will our Burgundian do? He's got Cavaliers, or at least the availability of Cavaliers. And remember, they are 50% cheaper, those Burgundian stable techs. No, he is going castle drop. And Cavalier at 50% off is I mean, that's Paladin, pardon me. It's usually 300 if I'm not mistaken. But 150 is so cheap. And there's that first knight, so maybe he will go Cavaliers. For now, 3 villagers constructing a castle right in front of Vinchester's face. He sees it. He himself has 744 stone. He's deleting farms. Counter castle in 9 seconds. The construction crew is being trained, being prepped. This is so many villagers dropping off their resources, and here we go. Are they still carrying? To quote my drug dealer, 71 resources are still being held by these villagers. But Mr. Yo had such an impressive early lead to starting his castle construction, even though he's only building with 3 villagers. Oh my god, which castle will go up first? Look how fast the Cuman one is going up. It does go up first. Mr. Yo! That is so sour. His castle ends at 86.4%. And there is no way in hell he's finishing this castle. Unless he brings in 20 villagers right now. Forget 20, maybe 15. Camel ain't getting this villager, says Mr. Yo, but that is so sour. And now the battering ram. And in Castle Age, by the way, the Cumans, they get capped rams. So not a bad little get. Oh, and tower gets destroyed. Tower abandoned, and Kipchaks are out there going to start hounding this retreating Feudal Age / villager army. Behind this, Mr. Yo is going up to a third town center. He's down 19 villagers. Kipchaks do get the archers right as the camel attacks the villager on the low ground. At least if you're going to attack with villagers, why are you attacking with this one? And safe and secure in his little nook, his little home that he built for himself here, that villager does die. And Mr. Yo's entire offensive has just collapsed, crumbled. No longer an offensive at all. He has got no military infrastructure here. There's no proxy anything. And now a very defensive castle. Canceled this one, got 14%. What the hell is 14% of 650? Wow, I think that's less than 100. Less than 100 stone he got back. But again, like I said, if he wanted to, a few short wall offs, and he's got extra stone and gold. Oh, but he hasn't seen the stone. So sour. So sour, some of these little developments when you take a look at line of sight and whatnot. Okay. Monsieur goes going Coustelier. Okay. Monk. Okay. Vinchester not paying attention. Busy clearing out infrastructure. More and more is falling here. Kipchak does fire 2 extra arrows. I believe each one does 3 pierce damage, 0 melee against those rams. And here we go, the Coustelier with their charge attack, which is now spent, goes down to an 8 at base attack. And I believe the Coustelier, because it is such a powerful 20 charge attack, look at that, plus 20. Does take 40 seconds to regenerate. Recharge, whatever the expression is. Oh, you don't want to fight this. You definitely, 2 of these guys do not have. Yeah, they're almost at 100%, it looks like, based on the bars underneath them. Kipchak's trying to find a way into this base. Ooh, okay. They do have Botkin, which is pretty much as good as it gets for the Cumans. Not a civilization with Bracer. I'm assuming both have husbandry at this point. 1.49, 1.54. Yeah, they do. Which means these Kipchaks are going to be able to run circles around these Coustelier. This is going to be... I shouldn't say, will it be a repeat of yesterday's game with Hera and Sorakuma? If you haven't seen that one, all I'll say is Eagle Warriors chasing down cavalry archers. And I'll leave it up to you to watch that game, the cast, to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. Coustelier is heading to the other side of the map. They have 2 armor upgrades. Congratulations. No real attack upgrades needed at the moment because of that massive plus 20 attack. And where are they going? They're going for the villager. They're going for the ram. They're going for more villagers. Let's say, I'm just curious. Let's say on average, it takes, let's say, 6 attacks to kill a unit for a Coustelier. So if you were to divide that plus 20 into 6, it's as if they have a plus 3.33 attack, right? If they attack plus 20 first and then they need 5 more swipes. You got to divide that plus 20 into the number of swipes they need. And speaking of swipes, if you're not familiar, the attack animation is actually different for charge attacks. You see the poke? You see the underhanded slash? Those are the 2 different attacks. This one's at... You see the underhanded attack? Over and over and over. That is once the poke is spent. But when they have a charge attack, it is very much a poke. Ooh, castle attempted. Castle getting denied here as I'm talking about poking. Camel gets converted. The Cumans do have camels. Unfortunately for them, pretty much that's all they have. No heavy camel riders. So they're in Castle Age. Pretty much Arrested Development style, those camels. Although I say camels, we're going full on Kipchaks here. I'm not sure if Kipchaks are going to pay out here. He's getting Thumb Ring. He's going up to Imperial. They're both going up to Imperial. And somehow our Burgundian has more villagers than our Cuman. Absolutely incredible. Even though our Burgundian, our Burgundian has killed 23 villagers. And even though he's done that, our Cuman is not replenished because our Cuman is training Kipchaks And so his economy isn't really geared towards food right now. Kipchak's costing 60 wood. And so that's why he's got 26 vills on food to Mr. Yo's 41 villagers on food. Although, to be fair, there were 38 a second ago. So 26 to 38. And here we go. The wall off. Secure the resources. Hold you. Get your bag. Will he lose a villager? Does have ballistics, does Vinchester. Ooh, but he runs right out of range. Fancy footwork out of our Burgundian. Oh, how did he save those villagers, Mr. Yo? The micro out of both of these players. By the way, what are you still doing here? Confusing me. I thought that was an actual building. Monk does die, though. Gets that camel conversion. Tells the boys about it in the bar. And then he dies. With that being the highlight of his life. 1 castle to 2. 2 castles to 2. And we are going full on unique unit war, but I'm a little scared for Vinchester in terms of unique unit war because, again, Mr. Yo's got these extra resources to the back, so as much as he can try to contain the Burgundian beast, the longer this game goes, this is like almost the inverse of what we saw earlier on, where Mr. Yo failed to punish the second town center. Now Vinchester is kind of failing to punish this complete wall off that our Burgundian has made for himself. Kipchak's though finding a good amount of kills. 4 more since we last looked. 5 more since we last looked. Ooh, villager runs almost to the safety there. Both players are in Imperial Treb. Singular is out for our Cuman, and it looks like it is to the south, shelling away at this castle. Where even is it? It is behind a palisade gate and a whole bunch of houses, because again, no stone, nothing for the Cumans. They are not supposed to be a hold my beer while I defend civilization. By the way, these two Custeliers are still alive. Speaking of, where the hell are the Custeliers? There's 11 of them here. One is basically dead with 13 whole HP. And that's basically it. Does Mr. not have an army at home? I mean, that is a ballsy thing to do. This is a very Hera thing to do, and now there's a gap in here. Will he discover it? He sees the villagers, he pounces immediately. Notice that the attack animations are different, and now he's here, but there's already a castle. Speaking of, this castle crumbling on the minimap. And let's see how much damage our Burgundian can get. He's already killed 30 villagers, adding a few more over here. Glad we caught that. But is he trapped? No, he's not trapped. So he just gets out. Did he just lose 1 Custelier for that entire attack? Whether or not... Oh, aggressive castle out of Vinchester. He is going to put Mr. Yo to the test. The King of Holds is going to be really put through it right now. Custelier's pathing absolute shit. MBL skirmisher style, if you remember that game from a few days ago. But looks like they're heading back. We'll keep an eye on those Custeliers, see how much damage they can get done. In the meantime, 46 Kipchaks. Let's take a look at their upgrades. Not elite. Fully attack upgraded. Still missing an armor upgrade. Looks like the Custeliers back in front of Vinchester's base have been repelled. And Mr. finally adding Trebs of his own, but he's losing villagers now too. 17, 18. Our Cuman is getting a good amount of damage done back home. He also seems to be defending quite well against this. Oh, now he's charging into a castle. A fully garrisoned town center. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Now the Step Lancer, oh my goodness. The Custelier, if I'm not mistaken, does come, of course I highlight too, it does come with Hussar level Pierce armor of, should be 2, base of a 2, yeah. So not terrible. Looks like he got a few of those Trebs, but not all of them. Mr. is taking non-favorable trades here. Our Cuman takes the kill lead. It seems like for every villager that Mr. kills, Vinchester kills many, many more all of a sudden. Really? 2 Custeliers is enough to force you to distract your entire army here? Trebs are down. What an absolute boss unit. Look at all the arrows. Are they still? Now they're elite. So now they come with 3 extra arrows, each one doing 3 pierce damage. And look at them dispersing. Look at them roving around this base. This is a Cuman attack if I've ever seen one. Spread to the 4 corners of the wind, killing villagers to the north, to the south, getting killed themselves. But such is a warrior's life. Such is a warrior's death. And they are doing exactly what they've been bred to do. Meanwhile, another force of Custeliers, 4 kills for them, is moving south. Do both players not have trebs anymore? Vinchester doesn't have the wood for it. Mysterio's got plenty of freaking gold and wood for it. Where are the trebuchets? Our Burgundians at 99 villagers, going up to 103. Our Cumans at 105. Oh, forget 99. He's back. He's back with a vengeance. Vinchester is just absolutely shredding. Takes a Vil kill lead. But when you're not paying attention, when you're not microing them to your heart's content, this is what happens. If the Custelier can close, now it's elite. The charge attack jumps up to plus 25, and they've got Blast Furnace. Oh my god, plus 29 charge attack. This is the moment. This is the moment. This villager's time to shine. F you to this one particular palisade. Custeliers, again, this is what happens when they close on you, because Kipchaks, like many a Cav Archer, have no base melee armor whatsoever. So these Custeliers might as well be Lechai for all that Mr. Yo and Vinchester are concerned at the moment, based on this build order. That being said, the army count is still double for our Cuman. Both players are absolutely tearing into one another. It looks like for a hot second, our Burgundian Mr. Yo is taking the Vil kill lead. It looks like another massive battle. Oh my god, I see one red dead body. This is what happens when you're microing in one location and Mr. Yo attacks you in the other. Oh my god. You cannot stop. I mean, this is what the Custelier was made for. The Kipchak, on the other hand, was made for absolute raiding bossness, which is what has been happening here in the center of the Burgundian base. Look how gutted this Burgundian base is. Those 2 Custeliers now choose this moment to pounce. But Vinchester pulling his Vils. More villager kills dying here for our Burgundian. 21 Custeliers to 38 Step Lancers. 46 minutes into the game. The score says Vinchester is ahead. The kill count says Vinchester is ahead. I have no clue who's winning this game. It seems like every time Vinchester pushes in, those Step Lancers just zone out. Did I say Step Lancers again? My God, why did my brain keep saying Step Lancers? The Custelier just zones out the Kipchaks. Kipchaks, who, by the way, are healing inside. And I'm looking for herbal medicine here for Vinchester. He does not have it. If you're going to use your castles to heal up your units, you might want to get herbal medicine. Heal them up 6 times faster. Oh my god, is there anything nicer than a synchronized attack against a town center? Oh mama. Come on, just get the job done. Just finish it. Sorry to get all pervy there, but he cannot. The Kipchak relief force arrives in time. They shoo away, and this is what Mr. Yo needs to be doing. Both of these players, this is exactly what they need to be doing. These are not two plant myself, death ball kind of civilizations, in my opinion. Obviously, any unit in this game can be a death ball kind of unit, but again, the absolute crazy, questionable pathing of some of these unit maneuvers. These are two, I am fast on my feet. I'm going to attack here. I'm going to attack there. I'm going to attack everywhere. Kinds of civilizations. And to be fair, our Cuman is suffering from what the Cumans always suffer from, which is walling off, unable to do so even at the best of times. And look at that, Mr. Yo, the king of holds. He's actually holding and pressing with no fewer than 4 trebuchets. What an absolute epic game. Look at the kill count. It's identical at 154. Let the Custeliers move in. They close. It looks like they're wreaking a little bit of havoc here to the back of the base as well. Plus 25 charge attack. But once it's spent, you gotta run away. That's why it's called a charge attack. You move in, you charge, you run away once it is spent. Speaking of spent, Vinchester's entire center position is gone. FU Palisade Gate. Take your 33% HP and shove it. Emergency Castle right here to protect the gold. Vinchester is completely broke. He has barely any wood. He's got barely any food, gold, or stone. Mr. Yo at least has 1,800 food. Not that our Burgundian really can do much with 1,800 food. Without bloodlines, their Hussars are... I mean, don't get me wrong, the Hussar tech is cheaper to get up there, and it's not a cheap tech to get. But I guess he can do something. No, never mind. What he can do, he sold it for gold to train more Custeliers. And now the Kipchaks are running to the left. They are stopping to the right, which means they will die on the right. We'll see how much damage they can get done on the left. I thought he was diving in on the Trebs, but no. I don't know what the hell he was diving in. And look at how many green dead bodies are on the dance floor all of a sudden. I don't see a single dead Custelier on the left. And on the right, I think it's mostly the castle that got the kills. Oh my god. I mean, yeah, no, this is a green body underneath these. Do you see a single dead Custelier here? This is what happens. This is why it's such an Age of Empires trope. And I always come back to the classic OG because I'm old. And there is nothing old people like me love more than repeating ourselves. Teuton versus Mongol. There is no more classic example of slower but more powerful versus, I can't even highlight Kipchaks because they're all dead. There's one Kipchak left. That's so sour. That's so sour. There's a few here versus lighter on their feet but less powerful. These try to avoid these tried to close on these, and we saw it in yesterday's game, the battle, the chase, the hungry players microing their hearts out, and we saw it again in this case. But what you cannot do with the weaker, more lethal unit is stop it and let the stronger unit close in on you. Forget Teutonic Paladin versus Mangudai. 25 charge attack. Their base attack, not that great, but look at this guy, 40 HP. And like I said, the Kipchak with its 0 base armor of any kind might as well be Lithuanian Lechai that you're fighting. What's your 4 melee armor going to do against a 40 attack? Insane. Insane in the membrane. What a bonkers game. I hope I did it justice with picture-in-picture. It looks like there were some kills here at the end of the day. Mr. Yo does what he did in the beginning, which is get more villager kills than his opponent, more total kills, but not that many. And look at the final score, only about 10% apart after 52 minutes of non-stop, literally non-stop. The second Mysterio discovered the second town center, we saw villagers moving out, and man, what an absolute bonkers game. So much action, 135 Custeliers, 122 Kipchaks. Again, in theory, this should beat this hands down with Micro. That being said, if they stop for a cigarette break, this will overrun this in such a fashion that you don't see a single red dead body on the dance floor. Wow. Such a fun game. Look at that. Both players just going full meme builds, full unique unit builds. Their second most and third most are Trebs. Everything else is Feudal Age garbage. What the hell is this? We're definitely going to have to see. I have never seen. This is StarCraft level APM. We're definitely going to have to see what the hell was going on at the 35:58. Tell me that's the same for you. No. 8-minute mark of the game. So this was the second town center going up and the tower defense of it. But what the hell is this, Mr. Yo? I don't think I've ever seen APM this high. I don't think was he using both hands and feet on his mouse? Oh my god, oh, I'm so excited. I really need to see what was going on at 35:58. Let's get through the numbers so we can dive right in. Our Cuman takes the wood, everything else going to our Burgundian. A little bit more stone, a little bit more gold, a lot of bit more food. Relics not really playing a role here, even though remember every relic that the Burgundians get does generate 30 food per minute. So if you do get 5 relics, you can generate 150 food per minute, which is basically 3 free Custeliers per minute that you can train in terms of food cost. A little bit less than 3, but let's do some poetic allowances here. One conversion is that camel, and like I said, after he converted the camel, kind of rested on his laurels, and then he got killed by the Kipchaks. 21 raisings to 15. This is probably the battle of the center after a few towers going down here and there. Vinchester getting more just by virtue of cleaning up Mysterio's infrastructure after he pushed him back. I don't think the palisade counted here. I'm not too sure why that villager spent her energy on that one palisade, but it is what it is. And holy shit. Sorry to swear, but 35.58. Are we ready? Are we ready? Has anyone seen any APM this high? I don't think I've ever seen an APM this high. 35.58. So let's see what was going on. All right, you ready for it? Okay, 35.58. Where is Mysterio's army? It's this? I don't think he was even moving villagers away from this attack. No, look at that. The villagers are just dying. So they're not being moved away. There's literally nothing else. These two Custodiers haven't been activated yet, as we saw. Is it just that? I mean, that's pretty bonkers. Let's do slow motion. Well, there you go. And you know what? Let's see if the APM pays off. They start with 1,078 HP. And they end with 1,047. So what is that? 31 HP lost to 23 Kipchaks who are not elite. So they're firing 3 arrows each. 69 arrows. LOL. 69 arrows being fired every 1.87 seconds. And Mysterio's micro meant that he only lost 30 HP. I mean, that's pretty bonkers. That is pretty bonkers. Now, one thing I do want to do, one final thing. I want to see when the players hit Castle Age, or more realistically, when Vinchester hit Castle Age, 2340, and I want to see whether or not the second TC was worth it. Yeah, look at that, 19 more villagers, no army count, but as we saw that great villager migration building the castle once he deleted the 2 farms, his resources are fantastic. He's got the stone, he's got the gold. The only resource he's down in is food, which is to be expected when you have 19 villagers more than your opponent. So Vinchester in a fantastic position here, except for maybe just the lack of army. He's really keeping up. We both have fletching. Scale barding armor is really the only difference. Mysterio's getting husbandry. Our Cuman, pardon me. Oh, I mean, I'm such an idiot. Of course the Cumans don't get husbandry. Oh my god, why was I even looking? It's like yesterday's game when I was asking, why does the Aztec monk have 30 HP and not 25? Sometimes yours truly just gets a brain fart. You'll have to excuse it. It'll happen over and over again. Not something I can really control. In any event, I guess I could control it, but don't really feel like it. In any event, I think Vinchester with the second TC, fantastic position here once he hits castle, especially since we know he's going to counter this castle most sourly. But Mr. Yo coming back from losing this castle, from the center position, from getting pressed into here with a green castle, losing untold number of villagers to the Cuman war machine, such that, look at his base at the end, is just mills here. And wow, Mr. Yo, the king of holds yet again. And this is just atrocious. Lost over here, and Mr. Yo just holds his heart out, and with that hold takes the W in an incredibly fun back and forth game between these two lightning fast civilizations. And by the way, because they don't get husbandry, they move they move 15% faster, and that's why they don't get husbandry. So their movement speed's even better now in Imperial, 1.62 instead of 1.54, an extra 5%. And by the way, that applies to all of their mounted units. If you've never seen a Cuman paladin in action, I highly recommend playing as the Cumans, getting your ass up to the paladins. They are lightning fast, the fastest paladin in the game. And unfortunately, with the lightning fast Kipchak, just a couple of bad trades here at the end, and Vinchester, even though he's got a decent amount of resources, does ultimately tap out, and Mr. Yo, the king of holds, with the bonkers hold, the bonkers pressure, and the great unique unit versus unique unit battle, takes the W. But GG in a truly amazing game to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.